Yes. Video log, star date, October 5th, 2011, at 9:46 a.m. in the morning. I completed my psych course. I'm going to look at my grade today. Let us all pray that it is a good grade, because psychology class drives me crazy. The assignment was write your life story, and it went over a span of 5 weeks. So for 5 weeks, I had to think about my life and what cues from my childhood and adolescent years form me as an adult today, and relate my lesson and learning. And it was very, very, very difficult for me to think about these things because I don't spend my time thinking about it. I create my world in a little bubble that I wear on my head, and I walk around like a little bubble head, and I don't let anything affect me, especially the things from my past. But I realized the things that shape this bubble are from my past life experiences, my background with my family on my biological mother's side, and my family on my biological father's side. Well, I wrote a whole paper about it, and it was torment, and I cried. And so I'm not going to recant those things that affected me, but it did bring forth an arsenal of music that I used to get myself through the situation, because I didn't even want to talk about it with myself or write it on the paper, let alone the coping process of sharing it with someone else and recognizing that other people go through the same thing that you go through. You're supposed to do that. That's like coping. They have like groups for that, and I didn't want to talk about it, and it kind of made me angry and a whole roller coaster of emotions. So while these are not the only songs that reflect the things that I went through while writing this paper, and the things that I will continue to go through the self-identification process and the process of forming this company, it is a small snippet, and one I'd like to go ahead, perform, send out there on YouTube, and move on to the next chapter of music. So I'll start with, I guess I'll start with, what should I start with? I'll start with fairy tales. Okay, here it goes. I can remember stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of happy endings and tucked me in real tight. She turned my nightlight off and kissed my face goodnight. My mind was filled with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse and take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd rock it out of sight. She never said that we would curse, cry, and scream and lie. She never said that maybe one day he'd say goodbye. And the story ends as stories do. Reality steps into view. No longer living life in paradise. No more fairy tale. Oh, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. She spoke about happy endings of stories not like these. She said he'd slay bold dragons, defeat the evil prince. She said he'd come to save me, swim through the stormy seas. I'd understand the story, it would begin for me. You never came to save me, you let me stand on out in the wilderness. In the cold, I found no magic potion, no horse with wings to fly. I found a poison arrow, my destiny to die. No royal kiss can save me, no magic spell to spin. My fantasy is over, and my life must now begin. And the story ends as stories do. Reality steps into view. No longer living life in paradise. No more fairy tale. Oh, hey, 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 hey. request? No, they're not helping. Song number 2 is Elenor Rigby. I think this is part of the bubble thing, but I don't want it to end as tragically as Eleanor's did. This song kind of infuriates me a little bit, but it gives me compassion on another front. It goes like this. Elenor Rigby picks up the rice at the church where the wedding has been. She lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words to a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near, look at him working, donning his socks in the night when there's nobody there. No one to care, all the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? Ah, look at all the lonely people. Ah, look at all the lonely people. Elenor Rigby died at a church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came, Father Mackenzie, wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved, and all the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong? Ah, look at all the lonely people. Moving on. This one is emotional, and sometimes it's even hard to sing, because of the tones. You know, there is a lot of vibrato in there. You got to be strong in tone when you sing it, but it's just hard to think about how sad it is, how people can live their lives a certain way and just hate you because you're happy not living the way that they're living, or because you have an opinion, and just refuse to see a different side of things. But anyway, less talk, more sing. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small, and the one that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Poor Alice, when she was just small. And when you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell him a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you a call. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And when the man on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you've just had some kind of mushroom and your mind is moving low, go ask Alice, I think she'll know. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen is off with her head, remember what the doorknob said. Feed your head, feed your head. Okay, yeah, 10 minutes exactly. Is that all my songs? I'm pouring it all out. I watched a seminar about how women are like cups and men are like pitchers, and they pour all the stuff in and then it overflows and you gotta blow up at them and vent, and then it was really cool. I think it was a preacher or something who gave it, you know, and it was just one side of the spectrum. I think women do the same thing to men. I think people are people. We handle things differently and we have different roles, but when it all comes down to it, the psychological makeup is not that different. Everybody just wants to be loved. Yeah. So, I love my family. Big shout out to all the people and the artists that were inspired by our life story. However, so sad, tragic, happy, roller coaster, like all the shows that keep me inspired to keep me going every day when it's not as glamorous and exciting as other days, and when I have to do crappy jobs, because some days I do. Yeah. All right. So later.